No comparison. This is trashy, classy. That's the difference. I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but here in New Jersey in November, it's getting cold, and it's time to think about putting up your Christmas lights. Well, I'm doing something a little bit different this year on my daughter's house. I am putting up permanent outdoor lights. The thing about these is you go up on the ladder once, you install these under your soffits, and you never have to go up again. And that is, in theory, until they stop working and something needs to be fixed. But in theory, you put them up once, and they're good forever. But these are Nanoleaf lights, which I reviewed earlier this year, and they have a nice little secret. They have wire covers. It's the only thing I really didn't like about this kind of what I call peel and stick lights is that you could see the wires, and no matter how taut you pull them, you could never get them straight enough. So these are like little conduits that go between each light, and they make it just perfectly seamless. And as long as it's nice and straight, your eye doesn't see it. Wavy wire, yeah, you're gonna see that. But that's why I like these. They're really not that hard to put up, and I'm gonna show you how we did it here on my daughter's house, coming up. Now my Nanoleaf kit is 98 feet long, plus I used one expansion pack for a total of 7 strings. The kit comes with an outdoor rated power supply and controller, extension cords, and a splicing kit so you can cut the string and insert an extension wherever you need it. I'll show how I use that later. Each puck has an RGB LED in the middle that produces millions of colors, 3 warm white LEDs, and 3 cool white LEDs. Each light has a peel and stick back that slides off the light so you can install screws to hold them permanently. The backs also have 2 little tabs that hold the wire covers. One more innovation by Nanoleaf is the inclusion of a gauge to ensure the lights are spaced evenly from the house. Not a very big deal, but nobody else does it. Now it goes without saying, if you have a fear of heights, please hire a handyman to do this for you. My daughter's house is a 2-story bi-level with a gable on each side and an overhang that's perfect for this style of permanent outdoor lights. For reference, I'm using a 32-foot fiberglass ladder that we rented from Home Depot, and boy was it heavy. You definitely want a second pair of hands to help you move it. And more importantly, you need someone to stand with their feet against the bottom so it doesn't slip out from under you. The first step was connecting all the lights and plugging the power supply into a GFCI protected outlet to give them a test. Nanoleaf's screws come with a small hex head, so the kit comes with a special bit that you can put in your cordless drill. The screws are stainless steel, so they didn't stick to my magnetic bit holder, but the hex head keeps them from slipping off the bit much better than Phillips head screws would do.
Whoops! Threw it right off.
I really recommend using a bucket with a pail hook to hold your drill and supplies. I also really recommend using a ladder stabilizer at the top of the ladder. With this style of light, you always want to start at the peak with one light facing down, and then work in both directions to keep everything symmetric.
And so I'm going to try this. I'm going to peel this off. I'm going to hold the guide here. And I know this is not clean, but it's going to be the best that it's going to get. I'm not wiping this. This stuff is dirty, man. Okay, and then you slide the light off, and that's holding good enough. And then I'm just going to grab a couple of screws here. Beautiful. And that's gonna go there. That slides on nicely. And then I'm gonna do the next one. That looks good. Now, I'm gonna decide, I gotta take one of these doodads and another one of these. And this is gonna go like right here. Okay. That's good.
These little clips are used whenever the wire covers don't attach to the light. They also have peel and stick backs, but I found it hard to make sure they were straight all the time.
That goes there. This goes here. Covers that. This is gonna be a little tricky. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try it. It did work. Look at that. That's awesome.
They also have peel and stick backs, but I found it hard to make sure they were straight all the time from my perspective on the ladder. So I really recommend just screwing them in place without adhesive so they can be turned if needed.
There it is. There it is. All right.
One of the most important things as to get a professional look is you want one light at the peak. So this is the peak of the house. You always want one pointing down, especially for accent lighting. It looks perfect. So what I did is I estimated that I needed a full string all the way on this soffit. And so that's why I put the joint right here. And you know, you could see that's not a problem. It's visible, but not really bad. I love these channels. I'm sure the rest of it's gonna go smoothly, but I got the first 3 lights up and I'm ecstatic. By the way, yeah, I know this is filthy, but I wasn't bringing all this stuff up here to clean this. It's just not worth it at this point. So they stick long enough for you to get the screws in, and that's really all you need to worry about. All right, as luck would have it, I climbed up the ladder over there and I held it up and I said, oh, I really should have put this over here. So I'm gonna move the lights over 1. So it'll be a full string right to the middle. What are you gonna do? But this makes it easy because the lights themselves are not stuck. The brackets are what's attached. So I can move these relatively easily.
Look how easy it is to take these off. I love that. And I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna pop this one on. And I'm gonna pop this one onto here. Oh, the length is not the same. What the heck? Really? How did that happen? What is wrong with these people? The length is not the same? Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm gonna move this one. These people. What did they do? Look at that. So evidently this is longer. Yeah, you're laughing. I'm not laughing. I am not laughing. Gotta move this now.
Stupid.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Holy cow. That is really stuck even for a dirty soffit. Oh, this is awful. Awful.
Can you just use another one?
Yeah, but that would look ugly. Wow. Okay, folks, don't make the same mistake I do. But this is why they give you extra glue pads and even extra of these things. So I don't have any glue on this right now, so I'm going to use another one. Luckily, they give you spares. Oops, dropped the bit. Shoot, and I'm going to need it. Gonna have to come down again. They only give you one bit in the box, so don't lose it. Tape the bit to the bit holder to prevent it from falling out. Learn from my mistake. Now the directions say you can use those clips in the middle of the wire covers too, and I tried that, but I eventually stopped because I felt the covers were holding well enough between the lights without them. Yikes. And this, folks, is why you want a fiberglass ladder if you're working near the wires. Love this gauge. It's the only company that includes it. Great invention. And that's gonna go right about here. The wire covers are easy to cut with ordinary scissors. All right, it is day 2, a week later, and it's considerably colder. Unfortunately, we started on a Sunday, so that's why I'm back today. But today is Saturday. It's cold and windy, but at least the sun is shining. So where we left off here is just the front of the house, and I got past the wires, which was the most treacherous part, and now just got to keep going. I mean, look at the difference here with this wire hanging versus this. I mean, it's so much cleaner. You can't argue with that. Now, all these I have not been using the center support on the, on the wire thing, and it's not a problem. You can't tell from the ground. You can tell from this angle, of course, but over here I used one because it was exaggerated. It didn't look good, but it's not necessary. And if they fall off in the winter, well, then we know we got to come back up and put them back up. But I don't have a problem with it because it's a waste of time. If you're interested to know how much time this takes, I'm timing the full cycle to install 2 lights from the time I started climbing the ladder to the start of the next climb. Okay, this time took me 4.5 minutes to do 2 lights. I ended up installing 70 lights on this house, so if you do the math, it should have taken less than 3 hours to do. In this next clip, I'm working in the corner to install 4 lights with 2 turns. It's important to keep the wires parallel to the house to look their best. So turns involve careful placement of the next light and then custom cutting the wire covers to form the corners. Unfortunately, the tripod blew over after about 19 minutes, so I didn't see the next climb. But let's call it 20 minutes for 4 lights, or 5 minutes each. So installing 70 lights should take around 6 hours. But in all honesty, the gables took much longer because we had to maneuver that big ladder around, and I had to climb much further. Plus, I'm no spring chicken, and I was extra cautious. When I got to the chimney on the second gable, I needed to cut the string and use the splicing kit to go around the chimney. I know it's big and ugly, but there's no better option. With a stepladder on the back deck, Josh used a rake to get the extension around the chimney. I've got these 3 lights that I cut off on the end of the string next to the chimney, and I'm going to run them on the other side of the chimney, and 3 lights will be perfect. And then it's a complete string. Now, what I'm going to do is use the splicing kit to put a new female end on here.
The female end is the beginning of the string. This is the male end. That's the end of the string. I put a cap on that so that the weather doesn't affect it. So that's the end. So I'm going to put this one on the beginning of this. Now on the other end where I cut this off, I put the male splicing kit and then an extension cord that went around the chimney. So this is just going to join to that extension cord, and that's what's going to power and give data to these 3 lights. So I like to separate the things off of this. You've got the first is the end cap, then this rubber grommet here, and that's what tightens around the wires to make it waterproof. And then this piece here. Now, you have to take the grommet out because this you have to spin to tighten on here. Then you push the grommet in and then put this cap on. So it kind of builds together. And it's really very simple. 3 colored wires. Strip off a little bit of it, and you just basically put it right into these things and just snap them in place. And that's it. Just give them a tug. Make sure they're good and tight first. And here the 3 wires are installed. Then this goes on, then the grommet goes in, and then the cap goes on, and it's done. I coiled the extension on the back side of the chimney so it's not visible from the street, and I got down from the ladder for the very last time. Here's a preview of how they look on the house at night, and quite honestly, they look just as good as all the other brands that I've ever tried. And that's not the point. The look at night is similar, but the installation process for the Nanoleafs is so much better, and the wire covers just blow away anything else. But I do believe next year there are going to be more options with wire covers. I think that's going to become the new standard going forward. Now there is one thing that is annoying me, and that is the Nanoleaf app was not upgraded prior to releasing this product. So there are some features that are lacking compared to the competition this year, although they have assured me they are going to fix these limitations. One of them is you can't control individual lights. So if you just want to put on 5 lights across your house for accent lighting during the year, you can't do that right now. And then for some unknown reason, there's a scheduling function in the app, but for some reason, these lights are not supported. Go figure. The only way to schedule them right now is to use a voice assistant like Amazon Echo or Google Home or Siri, something like that. Also, as of this recording, Nanoleaf lights only come in white, and I have no information if the company plans to release them in black or any other color. And people always ask me if I can buy extra extensions or splicing kits, but I really don't know. I don't work for the company. And I always tell people to just check the website. I will put links to the Nanoleaf Permanent Outdoor Lights down in the video description below. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next one. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be the first to know when new videos are posted. Look for HandyDadTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit the website HandyDadTV for more great ideas and information.